Hello students, I'm back. So, Hariyanan has a question. If it is the same file, why am I writing it as exports dot? Because this is saved in the exports file, exports object. Uh, Here, I have saved tickets.response in the export. Are you back from the break? There are two doubts that I have to tell. Yeah. So first doubt is, why am I writing exports.ticket response here? I'm writing it here because this ticket response is not a variable in the scope of this file. It is part of this object. Therefore, I have to write it like this. If I write directly ticket response, I'll have to import it here. Okay. Without importing, I cannot do that. So I'll just do Control Z. So I can directly do exports on this. That is first thing. Second thing, the question that is coming again and again is, what is the difference between module dot exports is equal to something I'm just telling why I'm writing exports dot ticket response here. Line number 31. I'm saying I am writing it here because ticket response is a part of the exports object. Think of exports as an object that is provided to you, and I'm writing ticket response because ticket response is not defined in the global scope. Similarly, what is the difference between module.exports and exports? There's no difference. I'll show you how I am saying that. If I do module.export hello, hello as world, then you'll get this here also. Exports dot, I can do hello. See, hello is present here. So whatever I save in the module.exports also gets saved in exports. Whatever I save in exports also gets saved in module.export. Okay? Is there anyone who has a doubt about this? Now? Okay. So, okay. Sure. Thank you for the question. Let's move forward. Ticket controller, you have defined ticket list here. The last, also I have to do the router thing for the ticket. So I'll come here and create the router for the ticket. App.get and CRM slash API, API slash tickets. That's it. This will be the URL. When I post something to this URL, it gets added to the ticket gets added. But when I do a get from this, I get the tickets back. That's how you define the REST API. There's a difference between expose as your name is written, then no need. Yeah, exactly, Nilanjan. That is correct. No need to do module.export. You can switch between either one of them. That's completely fine. Ticket controller dot get all tickets. Yeah. So that's how we can define the API. I could have done this here also. If I do exports is equal to function, this will also work. Okay. I'll just do module export. I could have done exports here. That's completely fine. So I've created the update here. Now what I'll do is I'll try to get the ticket. So I'll just come here and run app.js first. No, I'll have to do cd 10, and then I can do node app.js. Yes. I have 3 tickets created by the admin. And now I'll try to, first I'll log in as the admin, and then I'll try to fetch these tickets. Can you show the route again? Route again. Yeah, I'll show. Route is this. But for the time when Aradhya is looking at the route, let me open Postman. Are you able to see the route? Done. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the Postman. Okay. Sign in. I need to sign in as the admin. I'll sign in as the admin first. This is the admin login. I'll just come here and do sign. And I'm signed in as the admin. Now I'm going to come here and get the access token. Copy this. Create a GET request on localhost :3000 /API, sorry, CRM /API /. And in the header, you can come and write access token, access token, and write the token here. And in the body, I'm not going to do anything in the body for the time being. And I'll send. This should give me all the tickets that I have in the list. What is the error? API tickets. Have I missed something? Let me check. API tickets. Let me check in the chat. This API is. Just give me 1 second. The controller. I think I made a mistake. I wrote the controller inside chapter 9. So the routes thing I have written inside chapter 9. So I'll just delete it from here. And I'm going to come to tickets dot. So first let me mute this. Come to 10 and in the routes, go to tickets routes and add the details here. Yes. That was an error. And I again start, sorry. I come here and I again stop this and run this again. Fine. Now I'm going to go back to Postman and send the request again. Okay. So now I got the list of all the tickets. This is the ticket open. This is also open. This is also open. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a particular ticket. Let me take the ID of this ticket, first ticket with priority 2, which is created twice. So I'll take this ticket. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the status of the ticket. Okay. So I'll go to this, and in this I'll have body. In the body I'll say status as closed. Okay. I've closed the ticket. Now I'll have to send the access token. I think I have copied it. I have not copied the access token. So I have to go here and I have to copy the access token again. Let's see. In this I'll paste the access token. Yeah. Now what will happen? We do not have request.body. We have request.body in update. This is the update operation. Ekta. And I send this here. Okay, in the question we don't have request.body. That's okay. That means you have an empty request body. Yeah, that means I have an empty request body. I'll write the request.body now. The user ID you are getting from the middleware. Other than that, you don't need anything in the request body. Oh, okay. Just give me 1 second. So you are saying we don't need request body? We need request.query. Okay, we don't need request.body, we need request.query. Okay, so I'll just go back to the get operation. And here I'll have a params, and in this I'll have status. This is the query. In the status I'll say closed. Now I'm going to see only the tickets which are closed. And before that I have to go to the put operation and see if it is being put. The ticket has been put. Now I go back to the how ticket ID same random value, right? How ticket ID has same random value? It don't have same random value. These are different random values. Let me show it to you. Here in Postman we are giving access token in header, but in actual app, how this token is provided when a user accesses the API. So what happens, Nilanjan, is there is a way of sending just like you have a way of receiving the HTTP. In Node.js, there is a way you receive HTTP request using an API, using the routers. Similarly, there are routers in there are HTTP request libraries in React.js that help you send requests from the front end. Okay, so in that you can specify that the parameters are so and so, the body is so and so, and this is how the request object is looking like. Does that make sense, Leandro? Yeah, that is the front end part. Or even if there is a separate backend that is calling it, they also have the whole, they have a library that can create this object. Okay. So these are different IDs. IDs are different. Yes, exactly. Yes, that is correct. There are different IDs that you are getting. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to search for only the closed tickets. I search and I got a empty list. Body. Let me test again. Query.status seems to be correct. May I come in? We need double quotes. Double quotes are there. Okay, let me check without double quotes. Sure. That might be a problem. Send it again. Yeah. Thank you, Hariharan. Can you please show the get all ticket control? I think I'm making a mistake. Yes, sure, Ekta. Can you tell me the error that you are getting? What is the error you are getting? This is one more thing that I want you to learn. You should be able to explain your error without somebody has to looking at your code. In English, you should be able to talk about the error. How do I put a body in Get API? How do I put a body in the Get API? There is a body here. There's a body parameter. You can click on raw and then, oh, that way. So we are, oh, yes. Got it. So you're not getting the user ID? We can do body. What is the problem? Why don't you do body? Why can't you do body? Let me put a body. Let's say status is closed. Put a body. I don't see a reason why get should not have a body. And now I can send it. Yeah, get can do it. So you don't have to put that, Ekta. There's no need to put the body option in get request, because the user ID that you are getting is coming from the verify token. Does that make sense? Try to check your verify token. You see this user ID? Let me close this. Ticket controller, ticket routes. Let me close this. This user ID that you are seeing here, this user ID, request.body.user ID. This request.body.user ID. I'm getting this request.body.user ID from the middleware. You see the middleware auth JWT. In this, I have said request.body.user ID is equal to decoded user ID. Does that make sense? I look at the JWT token and I decode the user ID and save it into the request.body. That's where it is coming from. It is not coming from the user. Now that is Eureka moment for Ekta. She forgot about it. I even asked a question about it. Yeah, I even asked a question about it. Anyways, so that's how you can have the get all method. I hope you are all following the get all method. Let's look at the last method in this. Somebody will send you the ID of the ticket, and that will be a very simple operation. Const await ticket dot find one underscore ID is equal to request dot parents dot ID. Get the ID, and all you need to do is return response dot status 2000 dot send object converter dot ticket response, and ticket response you can say ticket. Okay, that's all there is to get one ticket. Now you are going to save it in the route also. You can write this code while by the time you're writing, or maybe you can write it from memory. You're just doing a find one on parents. And now at this point, you should have a clear idea of what kind of router you will write. Can you give an option of what routers you will write for this function? How will the router look like? App.get CRM API tickets / what will come next? Can you tell me? Not underscore ID. No. It will not be an underscore ID. It it will be colon ID. And then, yes, exactly. And then you can do auth awt.verify token. And then you can do ticket controller dot get one ticket. That's all there is to this function. I can save it. And I have to go back to Postman. First, I'll just restart the process. So I'll just Control C and run it again. And then I'm going to open Postman. And let me remove this body first. This is not needed anymore. And let me remove this closed. Oh, okay, I can use closed. So I'll copy this ID from here. This ID I'll copy. And I'll create a GET request again. This time I'll do crm.api.tickets / whatever is the ID. Okay. So there's a request. When I do post, I can update this ticket. When I do get, I can get it. I can retrieve it. I come here with headers. Inside headers, I have to put the x-axis token. X-axis token. And what is the x-axis token? I come here and find it. This is the x-axis token. I'll have to Control C. And then I can come here and paste it. With the x-axis token, I can get the ticket. I send this and I got the ticket which was closed. Okay. So far, so good. Any questions? Okay. Very nice. If it is clear, it's good. That means it's good. Let's do a quick recap of everything we have developed so far. And you can do a quick recap by just, so I'm going to commit these changes first. Let me see, where is my GitHub? Yeah. Added get all tickets and get one ticket. I'll commit domain. Okay. So far we have 3 controllers which deal with our data in different ways. We have a controller which is going to help us in creating users, signing them up, and signing in. And there is a user controller which can basically do 3 operations. It can find users, it can find by ID, or it can update. It can find all, it can find by ID, and all these operations can only be done by the admin. Only admin can do these 3 operations. And we have a ticket controller which has get one ticket, get all tickets, and it has update ticket, and it has a create ticket, update, get all tickets, and get one ticket. 4 operations, simple controller. But now here is a question that I have. That is something we need to think about. And at this point, I want to go back to the starting document that I shared about The starting document that I shared about the app, the CRM app. Have you noticed one thing? When I write a function in the controller, it takes care of multiple requirements for me. Have you noticed that fact? So there are multiple requirements. For example, there is a requirement to get tickets, and get all tickets is a single controller that deals with all kinds of requirements from the get tickets. You can get as a user, you can get as an admin, as an engineer, as a customer. I don't mind whoever is calling it. I'll get it from a single API, and that is by design. You don't want to flood up all the APIs. You want to use the REST API properly so that only requirements, only the things that you are required, only the bare minimum amount of APIs are opening up. Okay. So now, whenever you have a list of requirements, I want you to see what are the underlying functions that you need to create to address those requirements. Okay. Uh, Now I want to switch gears, and I want to just give me a few minutes. Okay. Is there any difference between API and REST API? REST is a kind of API. There are other kinds of API. REST is like, is there a difference between driving on the left on the road and driving on the road? The difference is you are following a convention. Anyone who is living in India understands that you have to drive on left. So it's a convention. Same is with the REST API. REST is a basic standard that people follow while creating APIs. So if there is a get operation in front of a URL, you understand that you are going to search for something. If there is a post operation, you understand that you are going to update something. If there is a put operation, you understand. If there is a put operation, you understand that. If there is a post operation, you understand that you are going to create a new thing, and if there is a put operation, you understand that you are going to update something. So anyone in the whole world using a put operation on a URL, you already understand that he is trying to update something in the database. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that standard is what REST is all about. This is the standard that we are going to follow. We all decided. So it makes all of our lives easier. So next time, if you are looking at a REST API, somebody gives you that, you can directly say, okay, this is a GET API, so it must be searching for something. Okay, that way. It's an architectural pattern. You can call that also. It's like an architectural pattern. But it's more like a convention rather than a pattern, because it's followed exactly. It's not. You can distinctly say what is happening for a given REST API. Okay. In patterns, it's typically a little more. You have a little more room to improvise. That's the difference. Anyways, now what do I have to do? I have to cover one more part of this app, and let me check how much time is left. I have 1 hour, so I can cover a lot of details. Uh, just give me a few minutes. Yeah. So today we are going to talk about notification service application. This is a separate application that you need to build. Yeah, I sorry for the video. Whenever I switch my computer, it goes away. Whenever I switch tab on my computer, it goes away. Now I'm going to close this. Minimize this. Video. Just hold on. Whenever videos goes out, just don't worry about it. I will be back in few minutes. I'm doing something on my computer, and then the video goes off. Okay. Let's spend some time talking about the notification service. It's another service that runs on a separate port. Okay. So I'm going to talk about notification service today, and then probably code it up tomorrow. But I'll just explain you the overall architecture first, and then I'll clarify your doubts if you have any, and then we'll discuss it further. Okay? So we need some way for our three users. We have admin, we have engineer, and we have customer. You have these three. They are sitting somewhere and sipping a cup of coffee. They don't have access to our database. They can obviously search for the tickets, but you would not want that to happen. You would not want your users to search every 30 minutes for tickets on their system. You want some way of notifying them. Does that make sense? If something happens on WhatsApp, you don't want to, ideally, you don't want to keep on checking your WhatsApp every 30 minutes. You want WhatsApp to notify you whenever there is a message. Does that requirement make sense? Yeah, schedule the update or some whatever update is whatever. So you get the idea of notification. You don't always want the user to come to you. Sometimes you also want to send some notification to the users. That is the idea. We need a process at particular intervals or whenever there is something interesting, that whenever there is an action that they need to take care of, I need to identify the engineers and customers. Suppose there is a new ticket raised by a customer whose priority is 1, then I want my engineer to be immediately notified that a priority 1 ticket has been raised. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's where notification service comes into picture. You need a service. It's called as notification service. You need a service which your CRM app calls. This calls this service. Yes, exactly, Likit. You want to notify whenever they are, whatever you do, whenever some change is happening, some change in the ticket is happening, you need to notify the customer as well as the engineer, the reporter and the assignee both. If the engineer changes the ticket, then the customer should be informed. If the customer changes the ticket a little, the engineer should be informed. There should be a two-way communication that is happening from the ticket itself. Okay? Yes. So the CRM app will do something with the tickets and users. There are two models that you have: tickets and users. These are the two basic models you have. Now, your CRM app is going to do something with tickets and something with users. I don't know what it is going to do. Just don't worry about that for the time being. Any change that it needs to notify the 3 users about, it will send that notification to the notification service. This service will listen to the CRM app, and it can also give the CRM app whatever it asks for. If somebody asks for all the notification that are pending, or it can have a GET API which can give you all the notifications which are pending in the queue right now. Suppose you want that somehow. And this notification service is going to notify the customers, engineers, and admins. And how it is going to do it, I'm going to explain now. But the concept of notification service, is that clear? Like the overall use case of notification service, is that clear? Now let's talk about the architecture of this notification service. How does this notification service gets built? So there are multiple parts of this notification service. Sir, can you please shortly repeat again? Yes. Okay, I'll repeat. What I am saying is, first I want to tell you the overall structure of the app. We have 3 actors. There are 3 actors: engineers, customers, and admins. All of these three have access to the CRM app. This is the app that they interact with. But what can happen is they share some resources on the CRM app. Suppose there are engineers and customers which have a common ticket. A customer has created a ticket and an engineer is working on it. Now, what can happen is if there is a change in the model or if there is a change in the database, I want other parties to be informed about it. For example, if you have used GitHub sometime with people, whenever somebody makes a commit, everyone gets notified about the commit. How does GitHub do that? It has a shared resource, and whenever somebody changes the resource, everyone gets notified about it. That's exactly what is happening here. We have some tickets and some users, and whenever something changes in the database, which is relevant to the actors, what happens is CRM app is going to send some notification to the notification service. And this notification service will have access to an email client. It will send that to an email client, and the email client will have email accesses of all these actors, and it will send the email to the particular person who is supposed to get the email. Okay. So this email service you don't have to. This is typically Gmail that you use. So there is an API that you can use in Gmail. Have you ever heard about that? I once had a professor in my college who used to send all his emails from command line. He will not open a Gmail or something. He will always read his emails on command line. He will reply to them from command line. Yeah, there is a Gmail API. Yes. Yeah, there is a Gmail API that can do it for you. Yeah, you might not have heard about it, but yeah, there's a STP. There is something called STP or something which can be used for sending emails. If you have ever used SMTP, SMTP. There's a SMTP server that can send emails. If you have ever used Kindle for emailing, if you want to email something to the Kindle, suppose you have a Kindle device and you want to email, so email will Yes. That's exactly the same. Yeah. So what if you have ever used Kindle? Then what happens is you can send content to an email address from your email client, and that gets added to the Kindle. So that also uses something called as SMTP. Yeah. POP3 uses SMTP. SMTP is a protocol for email transfer, just like HTTP. Okay. Yeah. Even Mailgun uses that. Yes. All these mass mailing websites, all of them have these APIs that they use. I once had a professor who used to use this small laptop, and he used to only it is notification service. I should have written the whole thing, but I wanted to draw the diagram, therefore I didn't write it completely. Let me write it completely. Notification service. Okay. Can you explain this diagram? Yes, that's what I have been doing. Did you lose the connection, Karan? Employees, customers, and admins are going to act on the CRM app, and it is going to change them. And suppose employee changes something in the database, it calls a update operation on the CRM app, and the ticket gets changed. So when the engineer changes the ticket, I want ideally the customer to be informed about it. That's when I send a notification saying, please inform the customer that the ticket has been changed. There will be other use cases, but I'm just covering one use case. Notification service then have a process which then sends that request to the email client like Gmail, and then Gmail sends it to the customer email address. So I send the customer email address and I send this is the email that you have to send, and then Gmail sends it for me. Does that make sense, Karan? Yeah. So that's what this diagram tries to explain. This is the overview of the system that we are building. Now let's talk about the notifications. Let's zoom out on this. Let's zoom out on the notification service and see how we are building this part. So service provides the email ID. Yes, sir. So where can you get the email ID, Karan? Where can you get the email ID of the users? Yes, you can get the user ID from the user model. User model contains the email ID. So CRM will say this email address, send this notification. For this email address, send this notification. Okay. This request will come to the notification service. Notification service will keep all the requests in a database, and there will be a cron job that will run on the database every 30 seconds or so and send these email addresses forward. Okay, this is basically a queue of email notifications. So now I'm going to draw the system architecture of notification service. How does notification service looks like? So you have the CRM app. This is the outside client which is calling you. I'll just call it client. This client calls the server. Server, for each request that comes to the server has a route that the request will take. There are only two requests that will get and put, get and post. Just give me 1 second. Let me check what are the two requests I have. I think there are get and post only. Get and post. Yes, I can either post a notification, or I can get all the notifications that are there in the server. Server will have a routes which is going to take the request, and then there will be something called as controller. This is still the same that we have been discussing. Now controllers, there will be a get controller, and there will be a controller for creating notification, and there will be a controller for getting notification or searching for notifications. Are you following so far? Similar to how we built the CRM app? Very similar. Hello. Now, in this controller will interact with a model, and this model will contain the notifications. Okay. So this is basically a flowchart for notifications. Exactly. This is the system architecture of the notification service. What I mean by system architecture is basically the flow of information. Okay. So just to digress a little bit, because I have some time, I think I can share this. What is a system? Whenever you talk about system design or system thinking or something, what is a system? Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about system? What do you mean by system? Our server? No, that is not a system. I mean, it's one example of a system. But what is how things going to work? Okay, that is one valid definition. But that is also a process. It can also be an algorithm. Okay, how things will going to work. It is an algorithm. What is a system? I mean, this is a good question. combination of resources. But if resources are just lying around, then it's not a system. Working things in a systematic way. But then I can ask, what is systematic? The again question is, what is systematic? Aradhya's answer does not has the self loop. So what is the? My question is simple, Archit. What is a system? Yes, I like this idea. I like Ekta's definition is something I love. I think Ekta has understood the system is nothing but flow of information. How does the information flow? Resources put in a manner that makes the data meaningful. That may be a good way, but I typically call system to be a flow of information. Everything else is subsidiary. As long as your information is flowing properly, the information might change, the information might get diverted. As long as the information is flowing properly through the system, you have a valid system. Okay? Set of commands are meaning something meaningful. Again, then I can ask, what is meaning, Aradhya? But this is where it is correct. Okay. I can ask Aradhya that set of commands making something meaningful. But what do you mean by meaning? It is a flow of information. That's what builds the meaning. Okay. So again, whenever I discuss this concept of, sir, what is flow of information? Yes, that's a good question. What is information? Information is facts. Combination, a set of facts. Set of facts is called as information. Okay. So suppose I am giving you an example of this. Suppose I am building a gym. Okay. Gym is a business, and it's not the building in which this gym is that is important. As the business owner, what is important for you is the information about how many customers are there, when do they come, how many customers are there, when do they come, when do they arrive, and what is the average pay they are making to the gym. And you need a way of managing all the accounts of the business. Okay. And that is what is the system of the gym. That's how the system of the gym is running. Okay. Resources are okay. Like, resources is not the system. System is the information that is flowing through the gym. Without the information, you cannot do anything with the system. You cannot do anything with the resources. Okay. So you have a register. I typically manage my whole business from a register. And for me, my business is basically that register, because that contains everything that I need to know about my business. So anyways, system is this. Now, when I say the system architecture of notification service, I'm showing you how the information is flowing through the notification service and how it is changing over time. Okay. This is the notifications database. It will be a separate database which will contain all the notifications that I am creating. Are you following so far? Nilanjan, are you able to follow with the example of the gym? Yeah. So now what you have is information is saved in this database, in the notification database. And there is a concept that I want to talk about right now, which is called as cron job. I think I have touched upon it before, but I have not touched it deeply enough. So I'll touch on this again. Cron job. Cron is a library on JS. Cron JS. You can check it out. And what this library does is, it runs a command every 30 seconds or every day. You can decide what is the cadence on which you want to run a command, and it will repeatedly run that function at that cadence. That's what a cron job does. Does that make sense? I can tell, yeah, like I mean, yes, it's like I can say that every day at 5 p.m. please play music. Okay, so it's gonna repeat that. It uses stars for this. Yes, exactly, Nilanjan. You're right. It uses stars. So I can tell the cron job that every 30 minutes I want a notification. I'll give you an example of this. Suppose I went to my eye doctor today and I just had a regular checkup, and he told me every 30 minutes when you're working on your computer, please close your eyes. Okay. Uh, and for 20 seconds or so, you close your eyes while you're working on a computer. And that is going to increase the time you get. That is going to improve the overall life quality of yourself. The eyes will be better for a longer period of time. So now I can have a application. There are applications which are screen timers, and these screen timers will just note down that I have been working on computer for last 20 minutes, and they will shut down the screen for 30 seconds, so I cannot look at the screen. And I'll also close my eyes for 30 seconds, and then I'll again start the class. Okay, this is what a cron job can do for me. Every 30 seconds, please close the screen. That's one example of cron job. It's not a refresh button with a timer. It is, you can think of it as a refresh button, but it can be any other button that you want. It need not to be a refresh button. It can be a push button or a pull button. It can be any button. It's, yeah, like the sending birthday. Yes, that is a cron job. That is exactly a cron job. Like every day when Facebook sends you the list of birthday, there's a cron job that is looking at the database, fetching all the birthdays that are coming today, and sending you a notification. Yes, that is correct. Does the concept of cron job making sense? When we write it, it will make. So our new hero is cron job when it comes to the notification service. Hey, yes, that is correct. Ekta, you got it correct. Yeah. Okay, so we have a cron job that looks at the database and sees what all notifications are pending. Okay, it will run a find operation on the database. It will do, say, notification dot find, and it will find all the notification whose status is pending. Okay, pending. Then what it will do is it will send these notification to an email service, which is typically, I'll write it as Gmail because I don't want to sound email service. Okay, this will basically call the API for Gmail. What is happening? Yeah, it will call the API for Gmail, and basically Gmail will send the email to the respected party. Is the architecture making sense? Any questions about the architecture? Okay, if you got this, then I will go back to my CRM app. Just wondering how will we make a DB for it? We'll just have a basic document-based DB, Aradhya. You can use a key value DB if you want. You can use Radix, which can be a good assignment for you. You can make a Radix Q DB and use that for sending notification. Cron jobs are many times you use cron jobs along with Redis queues. Okay, so that's a very good combination that you can have. Notification DB contains all the updates of tickets and all. Yes, exactly. Notification DB contains whatever notification you want to send to the people. Okay, now, sorry. What I have to do? Open this and I have to I'll share the whole screen. There's a comment. Can you please more describe cron job to our project? Yes, Parag. So I can explain it for some more time, but Parag, what I can do is I can write the code and then it will make more sense to you. Does that sound better? How ticket and all will get through cron. Yeah. So we will create a notification server. Yes. Uh, Parag, do you want to ask questions directly on that? Maybe that will help you out. But I think once you see the code working, it will make much more sense. But if you have a question, you can I'll answer your question, Ekta. Just give me a few minutes. Parag, if you have a question, you can just unmute yourself and I'll try to explain cron to you. But if you can wait for one lecture, cron will make exact sense to you. Okay, so both are options perfectly valid. But yeah, what do you want to do, Parag? You want to wait or do you want to ask the question on the chat on the doubt? Hello. We'll wait, but it's still flow. I'll explain the flow. Flow is basically the CRM app sends a notification that CRM app there is a change in the and there is a change in the database. CRM app says, okay, I have to notify the users about this change. This particular user should be notified about this change. It sends it to the server. Server knows, okay, this is a put request. So this is a post request. So it routes it to the controller, which creates the notification. The notification gets created and it gets saved into the DB. And now notification is there in the DB. Now what happens is this notification is in the pending state. My cron job is going to read this notification from the notification DB and make its status to be sent and send it across to the Gmail. Now Gmail, this notification contains two things. One is the message, second is the email. This cron job is going to call the Gmail and say, hey, Gmail, you have to send this email to this particular person. Can you send it for me? Since Gmail is so nice, it will send it to the person, and that's all there is to this whole flow. Does that make sense, Parag? Now, what does cron job do? Cron job looks at the DB every 30 seconds to see if there are new notifications that I need to inform to the Gmail about. Okay, that's all there is about cron job. Now I'll go to Ekta's. Thank you for waiting, Ekta. So we will create a notification service app like any other Node.js app with basic functionalities. And for connecting it to CRM, we need cron job to send notification when some kind of trigger happens, like change in ticket and no. Ekta, not like that. That's a little different from what I'm discussing. I'm saying CRM app is going to inform the server. Whenever there is a change, CRM app has to proactively call an API to notify my notification service. That is part of the flow of CRM app. Whatever controller you are writing, you also have to notify the notification service. That is part of the flow. Now, notification service saves it into the DB, and cron job does nothing. It just looks at the DB every 30 seconds and see if there are pending things that it needs to do. It is like this. It is like this. There is a manager in the store and he says, I want some grocery, and he writes it down on a notepad. And then there is a employee who just keep on coming to the notepad every half an hour or so and looks at if there is something new he needs to get. He goes to the market, brings it back, and this is how the owner and the employer are communicating. They're communicating through a notebook. Okay, the understanding is the employee will come every 30 minutes and check the notebook. That's exactly what cron job is doing. It is checking the DB for any notification that are pending for to be sent. Okay. Thanks for explaining, sir. You're most welcome, Ekta. I just love explaining these things. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Now we have create ticket, update ticket, get all tickets, get one ticket. I need to create another folder, and I'm just going to create the folder. I'm not going to do anything fancy in the folder today. On Friday, I'm again going to copy the folder and I'm going to work on it again. If you give me 1 second, I'll just notify Varsha that I need to take another lecture. Otherwise, what happens is I forget about it, and I don't want to forget about that today. So just give me 1 minute. Let me do that. Stop sharing. Open WhatsApp.
मनीष को देख रही है, नाक बजा रहे हैं।
By the time my WhatsApp is opening, I'll go back to talking. Let me open. Let me close this. And why is this one open? Come on. Okay. So here I'm coming and I'm creating a new folder. I call this 11. And this 11 folder contains building notification service. Building notification service. And today's date is 28th of December 2022. And I come here and I can go to this folder, stop this, cd /11, enter. Okay, now I was doing something, I was just sending a message to Varsha. Hey, hide this. Hey Varsha. Varsha, I'm not able to complete the notification service. That's it. Thank you for waiting for 2 minutes. Now we are in the app. In this app, first thing we need to do is node in it. I just do node in it. Let's see what happens. There's a problem. Module not found. npm init. Sorry, npm init. Do npm init. It creates a. What is the package name? I can call it notification service. Service. Enter. Version is okay. Description. The service. Send notification to the users of CRM app. Sir, are we creating new NPM app for notification? Yes, exactly, Nilanjan. We are creating a new app. Entry point is index.js. I can call it as app.js. I think app.js is a better idea. Yeah, test command I don't want to give. GitHub repository. I want to give a GitHub repository. I'm creating a bigger GitHub repository, so I don't give that. Keywords I don't give. Author, let me give it as unfit because I like my name. do we also need to do what you do? Uh, no hurry, Arun. You don't need to do. As long as you are pulling the changes from GitHub, you don't have to do this. But it's a good idea if you want to try out this. You can run npm init to create an empty project license. Yeah, yes. Okay, you don't have to do it as long as you are pulling it from the GitHub. But of course, I think we don't need if we pull it. Yeah, you can pull it up from my GitHub. But of course, if you want to learn how to do npm init, you can do this. Now we have this. There will be few things that we'll need for this application. One is Mongoose, so I'll just do npm install Mongoose save. This is going to install Mongoose and save it into. I know save is not required, but I'm using it because it helps me remember that I'm saving it. So it is like a mnemonic that I'm using. I'm going to use Mongoose, and let me see if I need also the. Let me see if I need cron job. Let me see. Node cron. You need a node cron server. So the next thing you need is the node cron. I'm going to install it today itself because I'm installing the packages. So npm install node cron dot save. Let's see if it is getting installed. Funding. Anyways, I'm not. I'm just doing npm update. Yeah. Okay. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to show you how the cron job works, and because some of you have still doubts about it, so I'll just do that. I'll close this and I'll go to chapter 11. This is the new chapter, node modules. No, I have to define a new file called as app.js. In this file, I'm going to do const on is equal to require node cron. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is cron.schedule I wrote it as Chrome. So I want to go to Chrome store or something. Cron job. Cron.schedule. There are three: get task, schedule, and validate. So I'm going to schedule a task. And what does schedule has? There's a cron expression, which is basically 6 stars. It is like this: star, 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 star. What does that say? It says that how many seconds, how many minutes. This is seconds. This is minutes. This is hours. This is weeks. This is days. This is weeks. And this is, I guess, year. You check what is the chronological order they have on Chrome. Yeah. So the scheduler has few options. Second, minute, hour, day of week, and month. Month and day of week. Yeah. So you can define which day of month you want to send. So you can have things like second. You can define what second you want to, how many seconds you want to send the, yeah. Then what you can do is minutes. How many minutes you want to run the cron job? How many hours you want to run the cron job? Days. day of month, which day of the month you want to run the cron job, and which month you want to run the cron job. Suppose you want to run in the last month. Uh, you want to run in the last month. You can say, I want only to run in the last month, and that too on the last weekday. Okay, day of the month, and then you can define the day of the week. Which day of the week you want to run. So those are of the options you can say, but you don't have to worry about it. For the timing, you just example. Yeah, example is what I'm giving. Suppose I want a cron job that runs every 15 seconds. So I'm going to write r/15. That means I'm going to run this cron job every 15 seconds. And what does this do? This is a simple function that is going to print hello world. Console.log. I'll just print something nice. Please take care of your eyes. Okay. Please take care of your eyes. This is a reminder that I should get all the time. So I'm going to get it. I'm going to save this. And now I can run this. You want to reduce it to 5 seconds? Sure, Nilanjan, that's a good idea. I'll save this. And now I'm going to come here and do node. Sorry, node. Yeah, node app.js. I run this. What's the problem? What is the problem? I come here, node building. Expression.replace GI. There's something wrong with the expression. There should be a space or something. Let me close this. Let me leave out some spaces between them. Save this. Go back and nothing. Okay, this is working now. Wait for 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, it says, please take care of your eyes. Wait for 5 seconds. Yeah, it will repeat it every 5 seconds. Now, is there anyone in the class who don't understand the concept of cron job? Anyone? Parag, do you understand now what cron job is doing? Yes. Okay. So that's nice to have. I think we are also towards the end of the class. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to push these changes, set interval. Yes. Yes, exactly. So like point, yes. Same code we can use for sending message on WhatsApp. Yes, exactly. Second, we can use similar code to send messages on WhatsApp. Yes. Let me go back to the window. Am I sharing? Hey, just a question. Did you see what I was sharing, or I was not sharing the window? Because I think I don't know whether I stopped it now or whether I stopped it. Yeah. Okay, so you saw. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Ariana. I almost was scared that I was not sharing and nobody informed. Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay, that's it. That's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have any questions, you can ask right now, or you can send me a message on WhatsApp. I always appreciate that. Bye, everyone. I hope you have fun. I hope you had fun. We don't have number. Oh, you don't have number, Aradhya. I have shared it with the class. Or you can take it from anyone in the class, or I'll share it again. Yeah, here's the number. You can message me. Yeah. See you soon, Kron. Thank you. Thanks. Good night. Good night. Good night, Gauri. Gauri, you were very quiet today. What happened, Gauri? You are not interacting. Are you okay? I didn't see you commenting a lot today. Gauri Deshpande, are you okay? Okay. Yeah. Please try to be more interactive. If you're not able to follow, just let me know. Bye everyone.